Alright, what's going on everyone? Swan here, and today we have my 500,000 subscriber Q&A, and I've never done a Q&A before, so this should be interesting. And we actually trended in the United States, so thank you guys for that. But anyways, we're gonna get right into these questions because I've never done one of these before, and I have picked quite a few out answers. So, first off, we're gonna start off with like some pretty simple questions, that I'm sure a lot of you are wondering, and I'll just answer the easier ones in this first Q&A. Alright, so the first question comes from Arsenal Tezzy, and it's, why did you start trickshotting? This is a pretty simple question. Basically, I just saw it on YouTube, and I just thought it looked really cool because it was something different. Not many people did it at the time, and it looked really cool, and I really wanted to hit some cool kill cams like I was seeing on YouTube. So I basically just started trickshotting, and I went on from there. So the next question comes from Aqua Detect, and it says, how do your parents feel about you gaming? And to be completely honest, my mom was just like, she didn't really like how much I played at the beginning. I mean, I've been gaming my whole life, and I started on the GameCube, and I was obsessed. Like, I played as much as I could. I would play at night, and then I would wake up at like 6 o'clock, and I went to school at like, I'd say like 8 o'clock, and I'd play from like 6 to 8 all the way up until I left, and I'd play just constantly. And when I got an Xbox, it was kind of the same thing. I started to play a lot. She supported me throughout gaming, even when I wasn't like doing it as my job, but there were definitely more restrictions back then. I couldn't play so many hours in the weekend or so many hours in the day. My mom's been fully supportive this whole time, and I really thank her for that. And now in the present, she still fully supports me, and she thinks it's awesome that I do this actually for my job. And I couldn't ask for a better mom, to be completely honest. I love my mom so much. Okay, so moving on, we have a question from Miko Mix, and it's, how is your finger, big boy? And as you can tell, I got this huge boxing glove of a cast on. My finger's doing well. I'm gonna have a cast on, at least some sort of cast on, for like 6 weeks, which is gonna be ridiculous. It's gonna be super annoying, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And my finger's doing well though. Surgery went well this past Thursday, and I'm in the recovery process. Okay, so the next question comes from Marco, not FaZe Marco, it's a different Marco. He asks, what would you do if trickshotting was never invented? I mean, I probably wouldn't honestly be making YouTube videos. Trickshotting was the first thing that really appealed to me in like making videos and stuff, and I don't think I would have ever gotten to like competitive or just regular sniping, but I don't know, I'd probably just be living a regular life, playing Xbox here and there just casually, not making videos, but all I know is that I probably wouldn't be making videos. Okay, so the next question comes from C. Morris, or Claude, and it's, how old were you when you first started trickshotting? I was either 12 or 13, one of the two. And Hyper asks, will you do more FIFA pack openings in the future? Definitely, I'll definitely be doing more FIFA pack openings. I don't know about anything right now because, there's not too many special packs out. I do have some clips from pack openings on my computer, actually. I packed some pretty crazy people, but, I'm not going to make a video quite yet on that. I'm just waiting for Team of the Season because that's a really exciting time of FIFA, even though I've never really played FIFA around that time, but I watched a bunch of videos on last year's Team of the Season, and it just seems super fun opening those packs. So, once that comes around, I think it's in April or May, look out for some more FIFA videos, and possibly some here and there before that time. Okay, so this next question comes from Hint Drift, and it's, what was the first game you ever posted? The first game I ever posted was MW2, and that was actually the first game I ever had too. Our first Call of Duty. Our first game I ever had was Skate 2, but MW2 was the first game I ever posted. It's the first game I started getting into trickshotting and actually trying to hit clips in, so yeah, Modern Warfare 2. And now Glide Bro asks, how does it feel having 500k subscribers? To be completely honest, it doesn't, I mean, I don't feel any different, but the feeling once I hit 500k, it was amazing. I was like, holy crap, I actually have 500,000 subscribers. So it was one of the greatest feelings of my life, but it's not like I've changed as a person just from overnight, but it's pretty awesome. It's a pretty awesome feeling. Okay, so Why So Sensitive asks, if you can choose your 3 favorite CODs, what would they be? This is a pretty easy question for me, actually. Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 2, and either Black Ops, actually, I don't know, I'd say Black Ops 1, Black Ops 1 is one of the most fun games just to like pub stomp in, and even Trickshotting is really fun, even though it's really hard to get clips. But I'd say probably Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1, and Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 being my favorite, then probably Modern Warfare 2, and then Black Ops 1. But you know, those are all really fun games, and I enjoy playing them still so much. And Damon asks, how old were you when you joined FaZe? I was 14 years old. And the next question comes from Cranes, and it's, which country would you most like to visit? And for some reason, I really want to go to Italy. Italy just seems like a really cool place to visit, and you know, I don't know, just hopefully within the next few years I actually get to go there. And V15 Zeus asks, when you started YouTube, did you ever think this many people would support you? And how has it affected your life? For the first question, no. I mean, obviously I never thought that I would have this many people supporting me and watching my videos. And for the second part, how has it affected your life? I mean, for the one, the obvious thing is it provides as a job for me. But I mean, other things, you know, it's just, it helps me, I guess you could say, communicate with people, because I talk to so many different people throughout this whole YouTube thing, and you know, it just, yeah, I don't know, it like changes your perspective on certain things, and you know, it makes it really easy for me to get people's opinions on something, and there's endless possibilities for answers to this question, but you know, it's just affected my life in so many different ways. I can't really name all of them. And the next question comes from Sprint Mako, or Mako, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but it's, what YouTubers inspired you? And for one, definitely Syndicate. The Syndicate project, I mean, he's just so hardworking, and what he does, he's so entertaining. You know, I started watching him when he did a bunch of zombie stuff. You know, he doesn't do so much of that anymore, but during that time, that's when I first started watching YouTube a lot, and especially his zombie videos, and he's still an inspiration to this day. You know, I love what he does, and that's like the easiest one to think of off the top of my head. And actually another one is Life According to Jimmy, or Jimmy Tatro, because I've been watching his skits since before 1 million subscribers. I'm pretty sure I subbed to him when he probably had like 600,000. I don't know, Strobe showed me him, but you know, he's just so hilarious. His skits are funny. You know, him and Christian Pierce, his like friend that he produces all his videos with, you know, they're just hilarious people, and they're like, I mean, Jimmy Tatro has been in like big name movies like Grown Ups 2 and 22 Jump Street, and you know, it's just pretty amazing to see him grow just from YouTube and being asked to be in these like big name movies. Okay, so we have about 12 questions left, and I'm gonna try and go through these quickly, because I know this video is actually gonna be pretty long because I've been answering quite a few questions. But anyways, here's the next question. Where do you see yourself in 15 years? And this is like this is a hard question to answer, because you know, I'm constantly thinking about the future, where I'm gonna be, but it's not that far in the future. I only think about really the next year or two, but in the next 15 years, I honestly can't say. I don't know what's gonna happen. Who knows? Like, that far in the future, anything can happen. So it's kind of hard to answer this question. Oh, and I apologize, I forgot to say, that question was from Inferior Taz. And the next question is from Intel Giovanni, and it's, is this question going to be in the video? Yeah. Okay, I really like this next question. It's from Static Zyko. He asks, if you switch spots with Wolverine, what would you do? Okay, so one thing, I thought about this actually before I started recording this video. One thing I'd do as Wolverine, I would probably work for the police, and I would just go to all like the emergency situations where there were like armed robberies and stuff, and just, I mean, beat them up and turn them into the cops, because I mean, Wolverine has like a steel body or something that just doesn't, I mean, he's like basically indestructible. So bullets wouldn't really hurt me, and I wouldn't worry about getting shot. You know, I can get shot, I don't care. And then I'd just run up to them, and I'd take their guns, and then turn them in, and then I'd be a hero. So that's one thing I'd do. I mean, there's like endless possibilities if you were Wolverine. Okay, so the next question comes from FaZe Zymesy, and it's Team Zymesy or Team Swan? Easily Team Swan. I mean, come on, dude. My team's so much better. Okay, so the next question comes from Aqua Prodigy, and it's, would you commit suicide or have sex with FaZe Rain? You know, let's just say, if I got this question today, my funeral would probably be next week. Sorry, Rain. The next question comes from Jaden Peterson, and it's, do you even knack? Okay, bro, do I knack? No, I usually don't. Okay, here's another good question. OFlow asks, do you have Swan Apparel? If you don't, will you come out with some? Yes, definitely, because within the next month, hopefully, I know I've been saying this for a while, but hopefully within this month, I'll have apparel. I wanted to get some out for 500k, but you know, there's been a lot of designer issues because so many people are busy with other things right now. But within the next month, I know Zybot is going to be ready to make some designs, and Muck is going to make a few within probably a couple weeks, and we're just going to go from there. You know, I just have my logo for right now, and then I'm going to get at least 3 more designs to start off the store. So once I get all those designs ready, I'll be launching it. So the next question comes from Ty, and it's, what was your craziest reaction to a trick shot you hit? It's definitely the opener to Swan Dive's 15. I think it was that, from what I remember. If you don't know what that clip is, it was like a carrier shot where I was on one of the jets, and I 720 can swap, double insta swapped over the middle jet all the way to, I think, A-bomb? I want to say it's A-bomb. And I hit a guy like barely around the corner. I might have wallbanged something, I don't know, but it was one of the craziest shots I've ever hit, and it was just so unexpected, I just started freaking out. You'd think it'd be my tree shot, but I mean, I'd been going for that shot for so long, I was just like, it was just relief when I hit it. And the next question is actually a little bit more personal. It's, have you ever done any drugs? And then in parentheses it says pot, pills, cocaine, etc. Cocaine. No, I've never done drugs. I just think it's kind of pointless. I mean, I won't get mad at someone for doing drugs. It's just not my thing, you know. I just think it's stupid to like not allow your brain to function properly. So I know people just do it because it's fun, it makes you feel good, but you know, I don't really see a point in it. Okay, so now we're down to the last 3 questions. This one comes from Sam, or X Mazakita, and it's, what was your first pet ever and what was its name? I mean, I don't know what you'd consider my first pet. I'm just gonna say the first pet that I actually remember, like have vivid memories of. It was Bear, and he was a Siberian Husky. It was one of the coolest dogs ever. Like seriously, Husky. I'm getting a Husky when I'm older. There's no doubt about it. I'm getting a Husky. They're the coolest dogs ever, and they look like snow dogs and wolves, and they're just super sick. So it was Bear. Okay, so this question comes from Vesky, and it's, what is your favorite soccer team? Real Madrid. And it was Real Madrid and Swansea City when Boney was still in Swansea, but I don't know. I still like Swansea. I mean, part of it's because of the name, but I love Boney too, so yeah. Real Madrid, Swansea. Okay, so this last question is actually really good. It's from BTB Downsy. It is, if you weren't doing YouTube, what would you be doing? You know, to be completely honest, I'd probably be focusing a lot more on school, and I don't know, just that's basically the only thing I can really think of. Maybe have a job, I'm not sure. But anyways, that was actually the last question. I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to let me know if you want to see more Q&As. This was a pretty long one, and we could definitely answer. I have a lot more questions that I could have picked, but you know, I just picked out a few, and you know, just let me know if you want to see more. So anyways, drop a like if you guys enjoyed. Be sure to subscribe here if you are new, and as always, I hope you're all having a nice day, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out, everyone.